One of the big shifts in thinking that I think teachers need to make when they're starting to think about designing spaces that enhance learning is to just go back to think about what happens when you're trying to do one teacher, one classroom, limited amount of area, you're trying to do different activities. Like I might want students to be sitting in a circle so that they're actually communicating things that are quite personal, or issues, or a response to a novel or a book. And then the next minute, I actually want them to be working on a collaborative project, or I want them to do something else. You spend all your day rearranging the room, and you often don't rearrange the room to suit the learning activity because it takes too much time. You spend all day doing it rather than actually doing the things that are actually going to help the learning. So given that all I'm used to is a classroom with tables and desks and so on, how do I start if I'm wanting to think about how I might redesign my space? Well, I'm going to go to the big end first and then come back to some little things you could do. The big end is to sit down and write down what are all the activities I do in a day with my learners, and do I do them on my own as a teacher, or am I working with someone else? But say I'm doing them on my own, then all the activities I do, and then take one of them, just one, and say, okay, if I'm doing that activity, what would be the best arrangement of the furniture, or do I need furniture? You know, just create a space that would just suit and support that learning activity. And just do that one, and then pick another one, and then have a go at designing that. Thinking about the furniture, thinking about what sound you need or don't need, thinking about how the light needs to be, and just really design it for that one activity. And then think about now how in your classroom could you set up some of those settings, and then the students move between them depending on the activity they're doing. They go to the space for the activity rather than try and make the space rearrange for the activities. When I started in this work, I think we were all pretty broad ideas and not really refined thinking. And you know how when you get to understand something deeper, you need to actually invent language or use language that says exactly what you want to say rather than a general term. So one of the terms, for example, we use quite strongly is the idea of something being reconfigurable. Now, what does that mean? Well, if you look at this space, and you can't probably see it on the video, but it's got sort of steel girders and things to keep the place up. Now, there's nothing in the middle that I can't move. I could move anything in this space. So that's sort of reconfigurable. But if a wall is holding up the building, then that's not reconfigurable because you can't change it easily. So reconfigurable really means being able to change the building form, not overnight. It means really getting people in to cut out a wall or move a wall or do whatever, and you could actually reconfigure it for a totally different purpose. We use the term adaptable to mean more that, okay, this space could be used for a number of different things, like say take a hall in the school. You could use that as a dance place, you could use it as a netball place, you could use it as an assembly place. And so in each of those different uses, it may need to be set up differently. And if I'm going to set it up for a parent night and I've got all these chairs out, that was adaptable, but it would have taken me quite some time to put it there. So that's an adaptable space, but a slow adaptable space. And we also talk about agile adaptable, so that in less than 5 minutes, myself or the kids could actually change that space around to be used for something different, could adapt it in a very quick and rapid way without interfering with learning time. So agile adaptable, adaptable, and reconfigurable are three terms that we've used to try and distinguish between that. Because it's so easy for people to say, oh, we need flexible spaces. Well, what's a flexible space? Adaptable is a bit stronger word because it says it can be adapted. If you're adapting it, it suggests purpose. Flexible just means I can change it.